Las Vegas Raiders at Los Angeles Chargers.
Oh, right. Let me just find my question for this one. All right. So, start off with this one. Let's go. Are we concerned about the Chargers offense without Mike Williams?
Kinda. I mean, like, Justin Herbert put his nuts on the fucking table at the end of the game and threw that shit to Josh Palmer, but I'm not, like, sold on Josh Palmer, and I was never, ever sold on the Quentin Johnson pick. The Quentin Johnston.
See, I do have to eat this one.
I didn't see it when I watched him in college. And it's really going to be the Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler show if Austin Eckler's healthy. So, yeah, I would be a little bit concerned if I was a Chargers fan, but here comes the narrative for Herbert, even though I think he's been playing much better this year with Kellen Moore.
No, he has. But again, like, this is one of those games where, and yeah, he made a couple like laser throws this game, there's no doubt. But again, like, and every Chargers fan would agree, you want to see more from an offense that has this many pieces. And when Justin Herbert's leading you 167 yards, it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I'd be remiss to go find a game where Mahomes played. This was even yesterday when he was playing at his worst. He didn't put up only 160. It's like, that's just a lethargic number.
Against Aiden O'Connell and the Raiders.
That's where I'm getting at. The Raiders. Like, this was not them going against the Jets. It's like, this was the Raiders. And so it's like, if anything, it rubs me the wrong way. And yeah, let me just leave clear and get out of the way early. I will admit, did I overhype Quentin Johnson clearly? Yes. And although I do still think he has a high ceiling and I think he can turn it around, he's not separating how I thought he was going to separate out the gates. And that just is a telltale sign for he's not as good as I thought he was.
Yeah.
So I overhyped him a little bit. And why that matters, why I'm even addressing that at the moment, is because, now he has to play the Mike role, the Mike Williams role. And I don't think it's going to be the same production, which is exactly why things look how they do right now. If anything, Quentin has a lot of pressure on his shoulders to step up now because he really has to grow up quickly.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't think he was going to be in a position where he had to grow up really much not at all, but in terms of getting even separation, it was like, I thought he'd be getting separation. Maybe he'd have drop issues. No, I mean, he's straight up just struggling to even get open right now, and it's showing. So he's got to get open. This offense is just, it's lethargic. Nobody had over 3 catches yesterday.
Yeah. But see, like, these are one of those games where it's like Justin Herbert needs to just take over. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you're right.
No, yeah, like, it's frustrating because it's like Keenan's really not going to get that, like, separation. Like, that's more like scheming him open. Like, he's not fast like that.
When he has to be totally the number one when Mike's out, you don't get as many situations where you can move him around without being swallowed by the number one.
It's just like, it looks like, maybe not to Herbert's fault, but it's almost like if you take Keenan out of the game, it's like you're just kind of watching Eckler, and that's about it.
Well, if anything, that's the biggest problem with this offense. The way this offense was built is it's built around a lot of injury-prone talent.
Yeah,
and that's the starting issue. I mean,
Josh Jacobs is back though.
Yeah, so if anything, let's just move over to the Raiders, because I guess if you're the Chargers, though, you can hang your hat on. We played like poor and still came away against the division rival.
The defense showed out,
right? I was saying
against the Raiders.
The 6 sacks is literally egregious because so that ties the single game record, and he hasn't had a sack all year.
No. Single game record is 7.
Oh, he almost tied it. But
he broke his personal record.
So he definitely broke his personal. And on top of that, first sack of the year was this game.
I don't know, but he did have 2 forced fumbles.
That is, he played out of his mind. One of the best games we're going to see from an edge rusher. Probably in our life.
First sack of the year.
So we got to shout it out. Khalil Mack gave us one of the shows of a lifetime, honestly.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So he saved, honestly, in a sense, he kind of saved Herbert.
More than the Bears have all season.
Yeah.
Sacks.
No, not surprising.
Not surprising at all. 0 pass rush.
The Bears D-line, we didn't even touch on it. We want to go back to it. This is another weak part of that squad. But yeah, over to the Raiders over here. Josh Jacobs, you got to love to see it. He heard the slander.
I think he's also been playing himself into shape.
No, no, seriously. And bro, this O-line too is just playing poor right now. It's like on the ground, 3.4 yards carry, nothing amazing, but the 8 catches, 81 yards. Like we see, when you put the ball in Josh's hands, he's still ferocious.
Yeah.
It's just not the best situation this year with how poor this offense is going to be.
And Devontae Adams played well. Jacoby Myers has been decent all year.
Trade Devontae, man. Raiders fans don't want to hear it, but you should want to hear it. Honestly, at this point, you'd be crazy to think you wouldn't get good value back. And let's be real, again, back to my Windows thing. Is the window for Devontae winning a ring with the Raiders, is that even in the realm
No,
of no?
and also it's like the Raiders are just like they're one of those teams to me where they're like you're just a team in the NFL. Like you have no direction. Like that's what Washington is to me. Like you're literally just a team who's going out there and playing on Sundays. Like I don't expect anything from you because I don't understand what your team is.
Right when they hired McDaniels, that was the fear of a lot of Raiders fans.
Yeah.
Oh, it's being realized that McDaniels is not seemingly a head coach. He's a coordinator. I mean,
maybe
it's just
not,
looking like.
but I don't think their GM has done them many favors as well. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So,
definitely not.
I don't really know what else there is to say about this game. It was kind of a fucking snooze fest.
I'll leave it off on that. Max Crosby's having another fantastic season.
Yeah, it's like the one bright spot of the Raiders.
Yeah, that's like the one.
And that's crazy to say considering you have Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs on offense, but it's like you can't even be happy about it because you know it's leading nowhere.
No direction.
They
are identity frauds, part 2.